On Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court may make a decision that determines whether Canada's manufacturing industry thrives in 2026 or just survives. We're talking about $134 billion in tariffs, many of which are hitting Canada specifically, and this ruling determines whether they will stay or whether they will go. Here's what every Canadian needs to know because these tariffs affect your job, your groceries, and your economy. Now, I'm sure most Canadians understand the US is our biggest customer and we are their second biggest trading partner. We export $903 billion worth of goods there. That's 21% of our GDP. Trump slapped 25% tariffs on most Canadian goods back in April, 50% on steel, and 50% on aluminum. And then in August, he increased the blanket tariff to 35%. It sounds abstract. What it actually means is we saw Stellantis close down their Brampton plant. We had GM announcing a cut at their Oshawa plant, and we've seen a number of paper mills across the country closing and scaling back as well. Algoma Steel had to take a government loan just to survive. In 2025 alone, Canada lost 58,000 manufacturing jobs. Ontario's unemployment is now at 7.9%. 82% of Canadians are saying that the tariffs have significantly hurt our economy. This is not speculation. This is actively happening in Canada. Now, why Friday's ruling matters is because the legality of the tariffs is in doubt. Basically, Trump used some obscure law from 1977 that's meant to be used in times of crisis like war, economic crisis. It doesn't mention the word tariff once in it. No president has ever used it before, and now the Supreme Court is going to decide whether the president has unilateral tariff power or whether that's up to Congress. Why this matters to Canada is because if Trump is right, then the tariffs will lock in permanently and Canada will face an insurmountable amount of pressure ahead of the CUSMA review. If Trump is wrong, then the tariff amount gets refunded and the supply chains will reset and Canadian exports will face lower barriers. Unifor, which is the auto workers union, has come out and said the federal government is not doing enough. The local president in Oshawa says that there's a gradual disappearance of auto jobs and that if the tariffs lock in, you'll expect to see more of that. And like I mentioned, just 6 months away, the CUSMA deal is up for formal review. And this is when Trump is going to make his actual demands. Trump has already said a number of areas he wants to negotiate in. Dairy and poultry, he wants more access. Supply management is going to be an issue. He's talked about softwood lumber. He's talked about digital services. There's a number of online acts that they have an issue with, which a lot of Canadians have a problem with in general. Now, Canada has leverage in areas like critical minerals. We don't have as much oil leverage anymore with the acquisition of Venezuelan oil. As a Canadian, we need to be watching this extremely closely to see what happens. The fallout could be interesting.